Oh, hi there, guys. So I just wanted to talk to you today about the movie Interstellar. I just saw this film, and I always like to think now when I see a movie, you know, what would Jesus Christ think of the movie? I mean, that's really the best way for me to analyze the aesthetic and moral worth of a work of art. So in this case, I think we're in a very interesting situation. I think what we see is now it's becoming something of a trope that using space themes, particularly ones rooted not in more fantastic worlds, but kind of really rooted in the idea of space programs and astronauts. These themes are being used now almost explicitly to talk about existential and spiritual topics. You see it in the film Gravity, you see it in the film Sunshine, other films, going all the way back to the Daddy, which was 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I'll talk sometime about on this YouTube channel. But with Interstellar, I think you really again see the fact that there is an extreme, overwhelming sense that the whole space theme of the film is a kind of fun apparatus, but it's a chimera. It's not really what the film is about. The film is a existential, spiritual story, primarily about the feelings of an absent father towards his beloved daughter back at home. I mean, that really is, when you strip it down, what the film is about. Matthew McConaughey is quite good as Cooper, who is a former NASA pilot stuck in a kind of post-apocalyptic world as a farmer, um, which obviously doesn't suit him. He longs for the life of an explorer, an adventurer. You know, there's always that bad boy quality to him. But that would mean, as he gets the opportunity to go work for NASA on a project to find a planet to, repopulate the species of the world, which is in essentially total demise. Um, he has to leave his family and his daughter. His daughter, who in fact, through a miraculous occasion in her bedroom with a ghost, actually led him to NASA and the discovery of this plan in the first place. Um, Really, again, all I wanted to stress about this film is it's quite good. Go see it. The Hans Zimmer score is an excellent, uh, slightly pompous but exciting, sort of very contemporary sounding score. The acting is very good. But what's important to know and to watch the film thinking is that it has as much to do with science as Alice in Wonderland. I mean, they use a lot of terms. They like to say Einstein, they like to say quantum mechanics, they like to say relativity. But strip that away to what's really going on. And what you have is a story of familial and existential dynamics. And that really is what every story is about. You see, the one thing that a movie like this cannot allow is the G word. It never even pops up. Even in a speech that the Anne Hathaway character, who's an astronaut with Matthew McConaughey on the spaceship, she gives a speech extolling the metaphysical virtues of love and trying as best she can to put these musings into a scientific explanation of dimensions and how the higher dimensions are made of love or something like that. That's a great way to start thinking about it. But what's interesting is that the G word can never appear. The G word is hidden. It's not even a tangible option for people to think about what's really going on in these movies or in culture in general. There's got to be this distance from it and from engaging with scientific language and theological language. But they're both basically very abstract structural languages. Christianity is not totally ignored. There is a character, spoiler alert, and for Jesus, everything is a spoiler alert. Everything. But there's a character played by Matt Damon who supposedly represented this virtuous, heroic astronaut figure, but who actually ends up kind of betraying his ethics and betraying the mission in a delusion of grandeur of saving the world or something like that. But he's a kind of compromised character. And what's really interesting is that his name is Lazarus. Not only is the name of his mission rather is Lazarus, so he's Lazarus, and also his name is Man. His last name is Man. I mean, the symbolism here is pretty straightforward. You have a kind of between him and Matthew between him and Matthew McConaughey, you kind of have a Cain and Abel dynamic. He's man itself, you know, risen, corrupt, sinful, and compromised. And I think that, again, the Christian connection asserts itself in media and in culture almost, you know, ecstatically, because it can't suppress itself, because it is in fact the truth. It is the narrative structure of reality. So that's all I want to say about Interstellar. Go see it. Maybe we'll talk some more about it a little bit later. There's more things to say about the dynamics of the characters, the way the characters were portrayed, you know, and how it resolved itself. So we'll talk about it maybe a little more later, but I wanted to give you a heads up about it, and just think about it in terms of, you know, what stories it, not ignoring, but papering over with the NASA astronaut space scientific theme, which allows us to make really the metaphysical issues more palatable to a modern aesthetic. So that's it. Thank you very much, and God bless you. I love you.